Shalom, family. I hope that during this midweek that we all are doing okay. I surely believe that. Let's talk about today, family, what we need in these days of trouble that are fast approaching. You know, we know that we try to have provision, for food and water, and most of us have arms, to protect ourselves, our families, from harm. And that's a good thing, but I've heard people say that storing away food and all that is a lack of faith in the Most High, and that's not the case at all. That's totally wrong. If we look at Luke chapter 22, verse 36, it says, "Then he said unto them, But now he that has a purse, let him take it, and likewise his scrip. And if he has no sword, let him sell his garment and buy one." Now that's in no way that Mashiach is advocating violence. What he's trying to do, telling his disciples that you finna enter into a world spreading this gospel where people are going to be robbers and thieves, and murderers. And, in the event, you may have to protect yourself. That is in no way telling you to put your faith in any weapon. Though we have them. And lawfully, not only by man's law, but by the Most High's law himself to protect yourself, if need be. But don't be like the heathen, like the world. They live by the gun, and they're going to die by it. Just think about how all these countries and things have been taken. It was by force, by gun. And that's an improper use, of a weapon. You're living by it, Family, the thing about defending yourself is that if in event that you have to end somebody's life, don't think for 1 second, even if justified, and you were right within your God-given rights to defend your family and yourself. Don't think for one moment that you won't think about that probably for the rest of your life, every once in a while, if you are a human being, a decent human being. Now the heathen, as we know, can gun you down and go right home to dinner. We see it all the time. We get shot unarmed in the street, and they go right home and sit down with their families and eat dinner like they just killed a squirrel or a possum or something. See, they are full of Satan, and Satan has no remorse, okay, at all. But decent people, even though you were 100% right, you're going to think about the life that you had to end. This is not TV where somebody gets shot and next week you see them on that same TV program again. No, they don't get up. Once you end the life, it's ended forever. And like I say, on people that love the Most High and has the love of Him in his heart, if they have to do such a thing, it's going to bother you. Don't let nobody fool you and tell you just because you was right, you're not going to think about it. Yeah, you're going to think about it because it's something that you didn't want to do. You know, you don't have the evil intentions and the spirit of Hashatan in you. You are a real human being. These people that commit these things and go right home and eat dinner and party, go on vacation, they're not human. They're just not human. These people are possessed by Satan himself. All right? And far as storing up food, well, you know, if you store up food, you know, that's gluttony. No, it's not. Because the scriptures tell us to be wise as serpents, okay? And we know, if you've been paying attention, this economy and things are being intentionally crashed, you know. See, this disease carries a lot more with it than what you think. It's about a whole lot more. It's trying to take your independence as a person away and make you dependent on the government. This is why all the farmers, you know, had to close down, because they come up with this virus, and so all the workers had to quit. You know, all the meat plants and all the businesses are closing and all this. This is to create a dependence upon the government. This is why you see these very, very miles stretched for miles, food lines now. People that you thought would never be in a food line. So yeah, we have to store food, family, and be wise as the serpents. Let's see if we can find a scripture about preparing. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 24. Proverbs chapter 30, verse 24 and 25. It says, "There be 4 things which are little upon the earth, but they are exceeding wise. The ants are a people not strong, yet they prepare their meat in the summer." You see that, family? See, we're in the summer now. Meaning, you know, we still have food and stuff. But the winter means bad days ahead. That's the winter. And, you know, we have to be like the ants. You know, we prepare while it's still summer. Meaning while we still can and able to. Because there's going to be a winter. Not necessarily speaking about the weather, but a winter according to the times, hard times. And so we have to prepare to go through that winter. Okay? Even in, let's go to Genesis chapter 41, verse 48. This is talking about Joseph. He knew a famine was coming. Verse 48, "And he gathered up all the food of the 7 years, which were in the land of Egypt, and laid up the food in the cities. The food of the field, which was round about every city, laid he up the same." Now, you know, Joseph was storing food for a long time, because he knew a famine was coming. See, because the famine hit the land of Canaan where his family was, and they had to travel to where he was to be able to get food. See, he prepared because he knew it was coming. So it's no such thing as hoarding food. You're being wise. You know, it's not a lack of faith in the Most High. He expects us to do what we can do. And, you know, he'll do the rest. So they can, you know, you throw that little argument away. That's not hoarding, you know. hoarding is you just gathering stuff for self-gain, you know, no specific purpose. You're just greedy. So the main thing we're going to need, family, out of all the things that we have, you know, our food and water, our provisions for these rough times ahead, you know, and your weapons and stuff. The most important thing, family, is faith. That trumps all of it. All that we can do, faith still trumps it all. That's what you got to have. You pray to the Most High that you never even have to, though you have a weapon, you pray to the Most High that you never even have to use it. You know, no one wants to use it. You know, so you pray for those things not to even come nigh you, that you end up having to defend yourself. If you do, I mean, you just do. But you pray that, you know, I never even have to do this. Something like this. Because it's going to remain with you for a while, family. It's not just something you can do and the next day you just live your life like nothing happened. No, you're going to always think about it from time to time. It'll come back to you. Luke 21, verse 34 through 36 says, "Take heed to yourselves, lest at any time your heart be overcharged with surfeiting and drunkenness and cares of this life, and so that day come upon you unawares. For as a snare shall it come on all them that dwell on the face of the whole earth. Watch ye therefore and pray always, that you may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass, and to stand before the Son of Man." See, we can't get caught up worrying and fretting what's going on. We just need to be prepared, and we need to seek the Most High always, you know, without ceasing. That's what we really need. The most important thing we got to have is faith. Family, we're pretty much born. When we come out of our mother's womb, we're pretty much born with faith, whether you know it or not, even as an infant. Because an infant itself knows that when it's hungry, all it has to do is cry out, and it knows somebody's going to come and pick it up and feed it. His mother's going to pick him up and feed it. See, he has faith that if he cries, his mom going to see to it that he's fed. You know, or if he's wet, or if he gets lonely, he knows that if he cries, somebody's going to pick him up. See, that's faith right there. And the scriptures say, you know, we got to have faith as a child. We have to have that same faith that children have. I'm trying to think what scripture that would be. I think that's maybe Luke. I can see if I can find it. If not, I'll paraphrase it for you. But anyway, in Luke, it says that, you know, if you got to have a childlike faith. In other words, the faith of a child. And I know people are saying, faith as a child. I'm a grown man. You know, how am I have faith of a child? Well, that's an analogy that we use. Faith as a child. Think about it. When your child, when they were young, would come to you and ask his earthly father or mother that on my birthday, will you get me a bicycle? Okay? Now, these are your earthly parents. And you tell them yes, even though his birthday is probably a couple of months away. You tell him, yes, on your birthday, we'll buy you a bicycle. Well, that child has faith. He's not going to come back and ask you again. You know, because he has faith that his parents' word is bond. See, when you tell him yes, he's going to go on about his life. He's going to go out playing with other children, going to school and all that. And he's telling them, oh, on my birthday, I'm going to get a bicycle. See, he believes it. See, he's not going to run back in there every other day. Y'all still going to get me a bicycle? No. Once you tell him that, you know, he takes your word for it. And this is the way we have to be childlike in our faith toward the Most High. You know, his word declares what he'll do for us, and we got to accept it just like the child do. You know, that's what we have to do. That's what it means. You have to, you know, become like a child. Let's read James chapter 1, I believe verse 5 through 8. It says, if any of you lack wisdom, let him ask it of Yah, that give it to all men liberally, and upbraid it not, and it shall be given him. But let him ask in faith, nothing wavering. You can't be wavering, family. For he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea, driven with the wind and tossed. For let not that man think that he shall receive anything of the Most High. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. See, when we go to the Most High in faith, you know, and ask, then we got to stand on that. You can't be wishy-washy back and forth, you know, beginning to have doubt because it's not taking place in your time frame. See, not the Most High's time frame, yours. So you begin to waver. Man, I guess he's not going to do it. You know, the date that I needed for it to happen done come and gone. Well, maybe the timing wasn't right, according to the Most High. All right? But that don't mean you go to wavering and doubting. You got to be like that child. The Most High's word is bond. You know, pray and believe it. Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5 and 6. Trust in the Most High with all thine heart, and lean not unto thy own understanding. And in all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy path. See, we can't go to leaning on our own understanding. See, that causes doubt. You know, well, why haven't this happened yet? You know, is the Most High still alive? I mean, I prayed about it and ain't nothing happening. See, you leaning on your own understanding. See, you're not trying to see it the way the Most High sees it and the way that he chooses to operate. So you lean on your own understanding of why things haven't happened yet. You know, and just to be blunt about it, the Most High is not going to bless you with anything he think going to bring you harm or cause you to stumble. You know, some people, if they acquire wealth, they'll turn from the Most High. That's right. They'll turn from serving him. They'll forget all about the Most High. See, Matthew 21, verse 22, and all things, whatsoever you shall ask in prayer, believing you shall receive. See, what you pray for, you got to believe it. You know, you can't let what you see or don't see cause you to start doubting. See, like the scriptures say, we walk by faith, not by sight, not by what we can see. Hebrews 11:6, but without faith it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to the Most High must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. Just as a child, see, he believes that his parents are going to do what they said. You know, family, I don't know if any of y'all are old enough to remember, we used to have faith and trust in each other. You know, our grandparents and great-grandparents, we didn't need no contract. If one of them came to you and said, hey, I need to borrow, you know, few ears of corn and stuff like that, and I'll pay it back to you next week. Well, your word was bond. We didn't need no contract with all those hidden clauses in it and small print. Your word was bond. It took no more than a handshake, because your word was bond. Nowadays, if you sign a contract, you best be reading the small print, because there's all kind of penalties for it, for non-payment or late payment. You end up paying 3 times as much as you borrowed. But our word used to be our bond. We didn't have no contract you had to sign when you went and borrowed something from your neighbor. You know, we had faith in their word. We got faith. We all have faith, man, in something. You know, that's just the bottom line. We do. You know, you can be in the morning getting up to go to work. You running late, but you know that you still have time to make it on time. Why? Because you have a vehicle sitting in your driveway. Now, you rush out the house, you jump in there, you put the key in the ignition, right? When you turn that key, you expect and you have faith that that engine's going to turn over and start purring like a kitten, right? You didn't have no doubt that when you got in that car and turned that switch, that it would start. See, you had faith. You believed it was going to start, and it did. See, you didn't have any doubts about whether it was going to start or not. We all have faith. Sometimes it's just misplaced. It's, you know, put in the wrong things. I mean, it takes faith to even sit down on a chair. You know, those chairs are made to accommodate a certain weight. And so you'll just flop right down on the chair, and you have faith that that chair is going to hold you up. It's not going to collapse to the floor when you sit on it. You know, we all have faith in a bunch of things, but when it comes to the Most High, we kind of go to doubting at times, don't we? And we can't live like that, family. It says, Hebrews 11:1 says, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. See, going back to the child again, he haven't seen that bicycle, you know, but he asked his parents for it, just like we go to the Most High. We're his children. So they go to their earthly parents, they ask for something, they haven't seen the bicycle or nothing. It hasn't manifested yet. It hasn't even materialized, but yet they believe they're going to get it because you gave your word. You said, yes, I will. And the Most High says all throughout the scriptures, for them that love him and believe, yes, he will. But a lot of times we just can't settle on that, can we? You know, we treat the Most High like he's Satan. You know, like he's a liar. John 8:44. You are of your father, the devil, and the lust of your father you will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar, and the father of it. That's the way we look at the Most High. When you go to doubting, then what does it say in Numbers 23:19? Yah is not a man that he should lie, neither the son of man that he should repent. Has he said, and shall he not do it? Or has he spoken, and shall he not make it good? See, we can't treat him like Satan, like, you know, the Most High is a liar. If he said it, then he's going to do it in his timing. That's where we get thrown off at, family. We want things to happen immediately, you know, but we're not dealing with our time. We're dealing with his. See, the Most High is not bound by time nor space. So when you pray for something, family, I mean, it's just like to the Most High, it's like now. See, to us, it may be couple of years down the road happening, and we think that's a long time, but the Most High is not bound by time. You know, that couple of years to him is like a millisecond. So it's in his timing that he does things, not ours. And you have to remember that. And sometimes he do. Depending on the circumstance, he'll answer immediately. We've all seen that happen before. Okay? Let's see. Let's go to 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 13. There has no temptation taken you but such as is common to man. But the Most High is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that you are able. But with the temptation also will make a way to escape, that you may be able to bear it. Now that goes all against the Christian teaching, right? It says there's no temptation taking you but such as common to man. They want you to think that you're going to live a life that's eventless. Nothing wrong's going to happen. You're not going to go through trouble and temptations. You know, the Most High does not tempt you with evil. And so we need a better understanding what temptation is. That means something that comes up that is against the Most High. That's a temptation. And we have to learn how to deal with it. But he said the Most High is faithful, who will suffer you not to be tempted above that you are able. You know, the Most High knows where each of us are in our faith, family. Those who have greater faith have greater trials. Does that make sense? Those of us who are babies in the Word, you know, the trials are something that you can handle. But the more you grow in the word, the more the Most High expects of you. See? So he's not going to tempt you above what you're able to bear. And with the temptation, make a way to escape. In other words, with whatever evil comes upon you, that's a temptation, you're able to escape it. If that makes any sense to you. Yeah, that scripture about the children is Matthew 18:3, and it said, "Verily I say unto you, except you be converted and become as little children, you shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven." See, we have to become childlike, you know. Not that we are literally children, but we are the Most High's children, for sure. You know, this little lifespan that we have is nothing. That's not even a hot second with the Most High. You know, he exists, he always have, always will. So time is nothing to him. You know, we're bound by time and space. We can't be everywhere at the same time, can we? You either here or you either there. He's not bound by space, family, nor time. All right? So we have to just really understand the Most High. You know, stay with him, stay in his word. You know, it takes a little more than just faith. You got to put forth a little work in this, family. And actually, your work at times can be just your unquestionable belief in the Most High's word. Ephesians chapter 2, and I'm going to read, I'm going to read all the way through this one, family. Ephesians chapter 2, verse 8, and I'm going to read through 26. Because we'll be out of here pretty quickly today. "For by grace you are saved through faith, and that not of yourselves. It is the gift of the Most High, not of works, lest any man should boast." See, you can't just have works without the faith. You know, that's why it says, lest any man should boast. Like those who approached Mashiach and said, "Well, didn't we do this? Didn't we cast out devils in your name? And didn't we do all that?" "Yeah, you did it, but you didn't have no faith in me. So depart from me. I never knew you." See, you're not going to be able to just have the works and then boast about it, about what all you did. But did you have faith in the word? Did you have faith in the Most High? Anybody can go do the work. It's a lot of people do works and don't even believe in the Most High. All right? So you need faith with it. Verse 14 says, "What does it profit, my brethren, though a man say he has faith and have not works? Can faith save him?" 15, "If a brother or sister be naked and destitute of daily food, and one of you say unto them, Depart in peace, be ye warmed and filled. Notwithstanding, you give them not those things which are needful to the body. What does it profit?" You know, you sitting up there, go in peace and all that, but you're not doing anything to help them. You know, it's just words, you know. You know, go in peace, you know, and they're in need, and you have the means to help them. Verse 17 says, "Even so, if it has not works, it's dead, being alone." 18, "Yea, a man say, Thou hast faith, and I have works. Show me thy faith without thy works, and I will show you my faith by my works." See, when we're praying and asking the Father for things, family, we got to have works. And not necessarily physical works, but your work is your unconditional, no matter what you see, your unconditional belief in the Most High's word, that it shall come to pass, no matter the time limit. It's your unwavering belief in the Most High. Verse 20 says, but wilt thou know, vain man, that faith without works is dead? 21. Was not Abraham our father justified by works when he had offered Isaac his son upon the altar? Verse 22. Seest thou how faith wrought with his works, and by works was faith made perfect? That took faith, family. The Most High told him to kill his only son. Now, I know you say, well, that wasn't his only son. You know, Ishmael was born before him. No, that wasn't the son of promise. That was the son Abraham and Sarah, decided to try to have. This is why the Most High calls Isaac his only son, because he's the son of the promise. He's the one that the Most High promised them, not the one they decided to do on their own, which was Ishmael, okay? Verse 23 says, and the scripture was fulfilled which said, Abraham believed the Most High, and it was imputed unto him for righteousness, and he was called the friend of Elohim. See? That was imputed to him under righteousness, because he's willing to take his own son's life, which the Most High had no intentions of letting him go through with it. But Abraham proved that he had faith and that he believed the Most High. And so he was willing to do the same that the Most High did, give up his only begotten son. See? Verse 24 says, see you then how that by works a man is justified, and not by faith only? 25, likewise also was not Rahab the harlot justified by works, when she had received the messengers and had sent them out another way. Verse 26, for as the body without the spirit is dead, so faith without works is dead also. See, we talking about the harlot Rahab. You know, that was her works. She hid the messengers who came to spy out, the land. And she hid them. And that was her works. And she was spared. She hung that red ribbon or whatever it was, around her door. And when our people came and, took over, she was spared. Her and her whole house, her family, were spared. See, that was her works. She believed that the Most High was allowing them to take over Jericho. And so she helped the messengers that came to spy it out. Okay? She had to have works. So, yeah, we prepare the best we can, family. Like I say, even though we have weapons of self-defense, we should always pray that the day never comes that you have to use them. You shouldn't want to, Only evil people want to kill. See? And, they got the scriptures messed up anyway. In the commandments, thou shalt not kill. No, it means thou shalt not murder. Whole big difference. Murder is when you plot it, when you plan it. That's murder. Kill is a whole different thing. You know, we have to kill sometimes to live. Since in the law, in Leviticus, we're not supposed to eat an animal and he's not dead. So we have to kill him. You know, kill and murder are two different things. Somebody breaks in your house in the middle of the night and stuff, and you shoot him, you killed him, you didn't murder him. You didn't plan that. You didn't tell him to break in your house. You didn't plan it. And that's why it's justified by the Most High and by man's law. But now, it's different. Listen to me carefully. It's different in the daytime. See, you still have a right to defend, but the circumstances are different, because if it's in the daytime, you can clearly see that person and you have the opportunity to just hold him for the authorities. You know, you don't need to kill him. You can see him, you can see his movements, and you know, he's not threatening because you do have a weapon pointed at him. And so you can just go ahead and dial the authorities and let him take him away. You don't just go ahead and shoot him because you can. That means you want to shoot somebody. See, now, like I say, the circumstances are different. Even if somebody breaks in your house at night and you get up and they run, they bust out the door and take off. If you run behind him and chase him down and shoot him, you just committed murder. That is no longer self-defense. He was fleeing from you. Okay? So people need to know that, family. I'm just throwing that in there. Difference. If he's fleeing from you, do not kill him. That is murder. Now you intend to kill him because you chased him down. Big difference. But somebody comes in your house in the middle of the night where you panic, you can't really see them, you don't know their intentions, you're frightened, and so out of that fear or frightened, you go ahead and you know, pull the trigger. But you didn't plan that. You didn't have no forethought of taking and ending a life. You know, it's just ending a life, family, is a lot more stressful than what one would imagine. You know, this person is not going to ever get up again. It's done. You know, he's not going to come back next week as somebody else. It's over. He'll be in the grave until Mashiach comes, and his fate is decided then. You know. But we try as we can to live in peace with all men. And sometimes it's necessary for us to do things that we really don't want to do. And the thing that I can say is not put yourself in that position. You know, a lot of people want to go to these protests and stuff and wearing firearms and all this. Well, you're putting yourself in a position to where you just may have to use it because you put yourself in that environment. See, in other words, you're almost looking for trouble. Stay away from places that you go that you feel like you may have to use your weapon. Now, that don't mean, you know, you can't go to the necessary places that you have to go. But it's the environment, the climate in where you go. If it's danger, protest, well, it's a good chance that somebody's going to throw a bottle or something and hit you with it. So don't put yourself in those positions to where you have to use your weapon. Just stay away from it. Okay, family. I just wanted to come in here and say that, Just remember this one thing, family. This is Satan's world, okay? This is his world. He's been given rule over this world by the Most High. All right? So, this is not our world. This is not the world that we're seeking. Mashiach said that I'm not of this world, and neither are we. So we're on Satan's territory. In other words, we're trespassing on Satan's ground. We're trespassers because we follow the Most High's laws, therefore make us trespassing. This is why they hate believers. They hate commandment keepers. We're troublemakers to them. You know, we're trespassing on Satan's ground. We're just here trying to endure until Mashiach comes back and set this thing straight, you know, and defeat Satan and evil. But right now, us who believe and follow the Most High, we're trespassing. And you know normally what happened to trespassers. If somebody trespass on your property or something at night, they're probably going to get harm done to them, right? And so this is why this attack is coming out on believers, and it's going to get worse. This is why. You know, we're interfering with their game. We're spreading truth. We're uncovering lies. So we're trespassing. Okay? So let's get our act together, family. Let's get our faith together. Out of all the things that we've gathered up to try to get us through these bad times, the main one is faith. That's the main thing. That's number one. Out of anything else we can do, number one is your faith and unwavering belief that the Most High is going to see us through this. Okay? With that, family, I'll say shalom.